Hello everyone, I'm Blatt here with a quick video on how I beat Shallow Grave with 8 runes. So as you just saw, that's my setup for what I used to beat this level. And I give a lot of credit to the setup to Liberius, I think his name is. Let's bring it up. Yeah, Librarius. I will put his kind of guide that he did in a post I made on Steam in the description, but essentially he made a post, or I made a post saying, has anyone 8 runed either Shallow Grave or the mountain? And no one has said they have yet, but Liberius came up with a pretty good strategy where he almost got 8 runes on Shallow Grave on August 13th when he posted it, so I'm not really sure if he has beat it by then, but I just hopped on Steam and saw his post today on the August 17th, and using his strategy and a little bit of a tweak to it, I was able to beat Shallow Grave 8 runes. So as you see, what I'm doing right now is pretty much the setup of his post, but the only thing I changed is I was 1 level higher than him of what he stated in his post, so as you can see in the very first few seconds of the video, my setup, so I was able to level a few things up a little bit more, but I also chose the dragon egg instead of the repair kit, so I think that may be what made the difference for with either of us being the people to succeed. So definitely try my strategy where I use the dragon egg if you're having trouble trying to get 8 runes on this. I'm not sure if I'm the first person to do this. I'm gonna assume no. I'm gonna assume that someone else has already 8 runed all the levels already, but no one else has spoken up about it, so I'll crown myself winner for now. But if you have, please tell me about it and look into your strategy. So you can see we're using a lot of fire traps to get through the enemies because enemies stack a lot on these waves, and we're also using the spike traps in combination with the slime traps and the liches to really slow down all mobs, to really pound them down in the one spot. And that's because, as you saw before, we used I think Trinity and Purity are the 2 ones that we're not using, or the 2 runes that we're not using, so we have to destroy the enemies really fast because they do have regenerative properties, so that's why everything's really grouped up in this setup. So as you can see, we're still putting up more fire traps and it's kind of demolishing everything. We're also using some spin blades and taking advantage of the pit right next to us. If you're wondering why you don't do the setup to the kind of bend to the left, is because 1, you can't put dart traps that shoot across from left to right. The entrance blocks it off. And as you can see, we'll take a break from that, but liches, or the dwarves, are also really big problems on this map because you have to replace barriers a lot. So, and you'll see later in the strategy how crucial barriers are. But like I was saying with that first bend, you can't put darts there, and you can't put fire traps that shoot sideways, and you can't take advantage of the pit, so that's why we have the spinning blades to help push things into the pit, and again, like, block things off and keep them all contained in one spot. And then also on wave 6 we have more dwarves, so you can just see how I'm constantly ready to keep upgrading them to heal them, but I'm not using the healing or toolkit. I forget what it's exactly called, but we're not using the toolkit, we're just using pure money to support the crates. And coming up on wave 7, there actually aren't any dwarves on this stage, which is nice. But you can still see some of the dwarves on the top, how they get pushed back by the other mobs, so that's also something to look out for. So don't ever really take your eyes away from that first block, because people can get by really fast there. On the right you can see we're grouping up still. We're taking full advantage of our fire traps That lower one is using the spread special ability, or 4th tier. And everything's really just getting taken down, so this might be a potential strategy for the mountain 8 runes, but I haven't tried this on that level yet. And now we're coming up on level 8, where there are 20 dwarves in total, so you're going to do a lot of repairing. And I'm just getting constantly ready to upgrade. I'm not going to try and risk doing anything silly and trying to drag out as much of my money as I can. At this point I just wanted to play it safe. Then also at this point you want to look to the right and see how far some of the brutes and I forget exactly what those guys are called, but see how far those are getting. And this is where barricades really come into play, even after all the dwarves. Because these guys regenerate, there's no point in really trying to put in dart traps or other things to try and slow them down. The best strategy that I know of is to just use and sell blockades and instantly kill the really strong guys that get past your defenses. And so this is a good strategy to use. If you see some guys slipping by, you can just quick sell and rebuy, because you can place barriers in that spot and you can kill these guys instantly. So if you have decent enough micro, this part shouldn't be too much of a challenge for you. I suppose there might be some sort of strategy that you can use with the hex trap, but I'm not really sure. So you see we're down to 3 more guys, and it should be really easy to clean up. And you know, you can just sell whatever because they're not going to be attacking, and we beat off the level. So thanks for watching this kind of 8 rune walkthrough. Don't take it as a step-for-step guide because there's still a lot of variables in it, and there's still a lot of places that things can go wrong, so it's not foolproof. It still takes some skill. But thanks for watching.